Top 5 X spells in Magic the Gathering, Red Edition. Number 5, Banefire. One of the many iterations on the OG Alpha Fireball, Banefire is X and a red for a sorcery from Conflux that deals X damage to any target. Then if X is 5 or more, it can't be countered, and the damage can't be prevented. To give some perspective on the competition, at the time of this recording there are 91 red X spells. 3 of them are Hydras, 10 of them destroy lands or artifacts, 56 of them deal damage according to X. You can pump as much mana as you want into a big fireball, but if your opponent has a counterspell or a deflecting palm, it's all for naught. That's why I trust Banefire. Number 4, Crackle with Power. Being uncounterable is cool, but if you simply want the most bang for your buck, look no further. XXX red red, that's 3 X's and 2 red for a sorcery from Strixhaven that says deal 5 times X damage to each of up to X targets. That translates to 3 red red, 5 mana, X equals 1 for 5 damage to 1 target. 6 red red, 8 mana, X equals 2 for 10 damage to each of up to 2 targets. 11 mana for 15 damage to 3 targets, and so on. Though it lacks some of the flexibility of other X burn spells like Banefire, it can deal massive damage and is one of my favorite red cards to take in Chromatic Cube draft. Number 3, Shiven Devastator. Here's one of the Hydras I mentioned. X and a red for a 0/0 Dragon Hydra from Dominaria United that has flying and haste, and it enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. The Devastator is a great aggro threat that slots into the curve wherever you need it. It also synergizes well with any cards that care about counters or dragons. It also synergizes well with any player who wants to win the game as quickly and with as many heads as possible. Number 2, Shatter Skull Smashing. You know we couldn't get through an X spell list without running into part of a cycle. X red red for a sorcery from a cycle of spells in Zendikar Rising. They can also be played as lands on their flip side. Shatter Skull Smashing says it deals X damage divided as you choose among up to 2 target creatures or planeswalkers. So no smashing face, unfortunately. Then it says if X is 6 or more, it deals twice X damage divided as you choose among them instead. And like I said, on the backside it can be played as a land. In this case, Shatter Skull the Hammer Pass, that taps for red and enters the battlefield tapped unless you pay 3 life. Similar to a Shockland. As with most double-sided or split cards, you're deciding between 2 options that are each about 80% of the value of a normal card for the cost, but having a removal spell that scales with the game and can also fill a land slot is huge. Number 1, Indomitable Creativity. X and 3 red for a sorcery from Aether Revolt that I'm not going to read. Essentially, it allows you to pay 4 mana to trade a treasure, a clue, a crab, a goblin, pretty much anything you got lying around for an Archon of Cruelty, or another gargantuan of your choosing. As a result, creativity decks have been a force in Modern, Pioneer, Explorer, and Historic for quite a while now. And unless Wizards bans the namesake card, I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. Honorable mention goes to Earthquake. X and a red for a sorcery printed alongside Fireball in Alpha. It deals X damage to each creature without flying in each player. A great board sweeper in Big Red and Wildfire strategies, and can potentially finish off any opponent who happens to have less life than you. Follow for more top 5s.